Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up, and today we're going over Beta the Ray Bill's defense. He was nice enough to come in after jewelry shopping and show all of us his diamonds. If you want to be a part of these, you can come to find us on Twitch. Monday and Friday is when we record Defense Up, but I'm live Tuesday and Thursday as well doing Marvel Strike Force. That link is in the description below. And while you're down there, if you want to have your defense featured on Defense Up, the link for my Discord is down there as well. Just message me on Discord. We'll put you on the list and you can be featured as well. There's a lot of cool teams in this lineup that you're never going to see. At least not for a few months until you unlock Mephisto, because he's got a Mephisto team. It's really kind of neat how it works, too. But we're going to start in Room 1 with the Extreme X-Men with Rogue and Gambit and Black Knight. He's got Black Knight as a fortifier, which is going to give him some drain, help him stay alive. The rest are all Raiders except for Rogue. We want Rogue to be a Raider also, so she can't be ability blocked. She can land ability block with her special and ultimate. I mean, her special's already applying ability block anyways, so it's kind of useless. I think that we should just go with Raider. It's going to be a better fit for this team. There's no way to improve the placement. Like, we don't really want Gambit next to Black Knight because we don't want him getting so much splash damage, but if you look at what we're doing, there's no better placement. This is as good as it gets. It's an interesting place to put Black Knight. I kind of like it because it's a little bit different. We do need to fix that ISO on Rogue. The more I think about it, the worse I think that is. Let's get Raider on her. A- for that team. Diamonds don't buy you a better grade. They just make your grade look bigger. All right, Room 2 is a Pegasus team, except Beta threw in Dormammu in here. Why? We're trying to mix it up so that the Bifrost counter doesn't work as well. That's basically it. We have Raider on Kestrel, Striker on Dormammu for a little bit of extra damage out of Dormammu. I like Kestrel as a Raider. Most of chat likes Kestrel as a Raider as well. Fortifier on Rescue to keep her alive longer. If she doesn't die and you can't trauma stun or trauma ability block her, she's gonna bring back to life those Pegasus members. So I like that. I like the placement. I like what's going on with this. I think it's a little bit fresh and different. Now, we have seen other people use like an extreme team in 2. There's this extreme hybrid that's going around. That's cool and all, but I like this as a runner-up. I think this is a really good contender for what's going on in the rest of Beta's defense. So A for this team for sure. I kind of want to give it an A+ for trying out this Dormammu, but we just don't know for sure if that's going to stumble the Bifrost team, but it might. Beta's always thinking about new ways to beat those common counters. You'll notice through much of his defense that there's no good place for the new warriors to go into. And Room 3 is no different. This is the Mephisto room. Now, here's what happens. Aggroed, right? Players with taunt get offense up. Players with offense up will assist the attacker. Now, what does Mephisto do on his first turn? Well, he uses a pact. But what does Mephisto immediately do on his second turn? He applies taunt to everybody on the field, giving them the offense up. And then Noir's gonna go, and everybody's gonna be assisting Noir, hopefully blowing them up. That's the idea. We haven't tested this one yet. It might be that by the time Mephisto takes his second turn that he actually gets a bunch of energy and it's his ult, but we don't think so. We think it's gonna be a special, and he has a gajillion speed on his first turn, does the pact, and immediately goes into his second turn and applies that taunt. So this is a really cool mechanic. It's a really cool way to utilize a new team that nobody really has any idea how it works. A lot of people that go into this are simply going to sack this, giving Mephisto the exhausted thing first so that he doesn't wreck your team, because he's going to be putting out exhausted on your team right off the bat. Then he's going to special as a striker. He's probably going to be double tapping when he does his ultimate. He's going to double tap and use that basic, which is basically a perma heal block, because it cuts their health in half and they can't heal back from it. Crazy cool team. I'm really excited to see it. This Noir is pretty pivotal because of how fast he's going, and he's getting all the assists from the other members who are brand new characters with big stats, and I think that's great. We could probably try other things in here for a similar result, as long as they're heroes and get that taunt from Mephisto. I think it's fantastic. I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna give it an A+ because damn it, he worked hard to get to Mephisto. So we're just gonna give him the A+ for this, even though we don't even know if it's gonna work as well as we suspect. It's all brand new stuff here on Defense Up today. Room number 4. Okay, this isn't brand new stuff. This is the Black Order with Vulture. And after much discussion, many people are suggesting that Beta change it to a straight Black Order team and save Vulture for offense, using it for a rewind of sorts. I think that's a good idea. I also think that Thanos could be a Raider. I think that Cull Obsidian could be a lot of different things. Striker works, though, and Striker works on Thanos. It's okay, especially with Vulture going out there and critting with the Raider and putting vulnerables out there. Maybe you'll get more damage out of Thanos on the opener. I don't know. The idea for this one is that Vulture rewinds with his ultimate on the opening thing, because unstable energy, right? Cheaper. So he opens with his ultimate. Then Thanos takes his second turn, I think, because like Thanos goes first no matter what. And then second turn does his big pull the meteor shower down on him. And then Ebony Maw with his ultimate also rewinding and healing and stuff like that. So pretty interesting team. I don't know for sure whether a straight Black Order is better than this Crimson Geared 3-diamond Vulture. Everything's got 3 diamonds. I don't even know why I say that anymore. But it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go A- on this for the uncertainty about the ISOs on Thanos and whether or not we should just be running the full Black Order. Still a fantastic team for people to be using in room 4, if you have the Black Order built that big. Another team that we've seen, this is a known quantity here, is the Infinity Watch with Quicksilver. The difference between this Infinity Watch and your Infinity Watch, of course, is the size. 5.2 million, the huge Quicksilver causing lots of destruction. It's the correct ISOs, it's the correct placement, and it's something you can do in the flashbang room, trying to blind your opponents with those ultimates, and Quicksilver just carving them up. Of course, to beat this is going to be the APOC Eternals team. But man, you got to have a big APOC Eternals team to come into this and really go fearless. Other things could die to this. They're just a tough team, and this one's huge. So I like it. It gets an A. I think it's a fantastic idea for room 5. And room 6, here's one that we actually need to work on a little bit. So it's the Secret Defenders with Emma. Now we could be putting in Dormammu in place of Emma. It does a similar thing as Emma. But what we like is that Emma changes the speed so MLF can take her turn. We like Hardlight in the middle as a taunter. Why? Because it keeps the taunt away from both Robbie and MLF. However, we need to swap places with Black Cat and Emma because Black Cat has that immunity on spawn, and it will force that new warrior counter to not work or not work as well. I don't think the new warrior counter is going to work on this one. I sure wouldn't try it. Because with Black Cat over the shoulder of MLF, you can't spread those things with the Death Pool special. She's got immunity. There's nothing to spread off of her. So it forces you to work into that Robbie. That might have been the idea on this one, is that he was trying to protect Robbie. But in this, you have to make sure that MLF takes her turn or it doesn't disrupt what the new warriors do. And right now, they could spread off of that Emma and rewind that MLF with the offense down being spread to MLF and then Cloak doing his passive thing. So we definitely need to swap places there. And then it's a question of, do we want to keep MLF as a Raider or do we want to make Black Cat a Raider? I just feel like 3 strikers and 2 skirmishers, both of which actually are very slow to put out vulnerables for this team to work with. So I kind of think either Black Cat or MLF should be switched over to a Raider to provide more vulnerables for Robbie to go in. Robbie kind of the linchpin, damage, speed. When he double taps into a vulnerable, he's putting another bleed on the field, which gives him even more speed and gets him going. And if Robbie can do his things before Robbie dies, this team stands a chance of getting you some very good efficiency against your opponent. But everything's kind of got to be done just right. So for me, this was probably a B+ on this. I really want to see that placement change, and I want to think critically about whether or not we're getting enough vulnerables on the field for Robbie especially to do what he needs to do. But all in all, I think this is going to be a defense that's going to have most people shaking in their boots, if not for the diamonds alone being just absolutely bonkers across this entire roster. In fact, the other day, Beta showed us a picture of his, I think it was Kree Reaper is his smallest character and is larger than all but 12 characters on my roster. So if you have minions that outpace 90% of your opponent's roster, then you really don't need to worry. In fact, if you have minions that outpace 90% of the people you're going up against in Cosmic Crucible, you need to like and subscribe because you're not doing it right. You should be way up against more competitive people if that's the case. So be sure to tune in for more advice on how you can tinker with these rooms, build better stuff, find some of the counters, and always remember to come and be a part of it on Twitch, where we have so much fun going over these teams. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll see you next time. Bye.